What's up, fellow crime fighters? It's Cody Lee here, aka Tihyo, and today we are doing the first update video for the Legends mod. Now you may be asking, whoa, Tihyo, Legends mod? What about Superheroes Unlimited and all that? Okay, basically what's happening is all my pre-existing mods and mods to come are being converted into these packs that'll be installed into the Legends mod. They're all going under one title called the Legends mod, which will be these different packs / mods from all these different franchises that all work together and all together act as one giant mod. You can install packs separately and pick and choose which one you want. So if you care for only superheroes and don't want Star Wars, you can, still just play superheroes. If you want Star Wars and not superheroes, you can do that. Or if you want both, you can install both. So it's just a naming convention difference. And all the mods are being converted into packs that'll be installed with the Legends mod. Installation won't change that much. You still put it on your mods folder, but just for the sake of because the Legends mod itself has some new additions, like as you can see, there are sea lanterns in the background, and no, this is not 1.8, this is 1.7.10, but the Legends mod adds some of the things like andesite, diorite, and granite from 1.8 plus, and they naturally spawn. You can make their pods with all that stuff. There's concrete. All that stuff is in the Legends mod, so that mod adds its own things, and the packs are add-ons to that for specific franchises and things like that. So now you can get some of the new blocks that you guys like in the new versions in the 1.7.10. So there's that. Now, today we're going to be specifically going over the Superheroes Unlimited pack, which will be the first pack to be introduced to the Legends mod. Now, the Superheroes Unlimited pack will be version 6.0, and we're currently today looking at alpha 1.2 of version 6.0. Now, you may be like, whoa, what happened to 5.0? Tihyo, you said the next release is going to be 5.0. It's going to be a full release. What happened? Okay. Version 6.0 is still a full release. It's going to have more than the 5.0 alpha did. The reason why we're not calling it 5.0 and 6.0 is because there are fundamental differences to Superheroes Unlimited that would not justify calling it 5.0 the full release, because it is too different from its from the 5.0 alpha to call it just the 5.0 full release. So it will be a full release, and it will be it'll be called version 6.0. Alpha 1.2 is what we're looking at specifically in this video today, because I'm in the process of porting all the characters from Superheroes Unlimited mod to the Superheroes Unlimited pack for the Legends mod, and completing the characters. I only have about 4 characters in right now, but they're all fully complete. They're done, they're obtainable, all that stuff, and we'll be going over some of that here in a second. First thing I want to go over, though, is the Super Dex and its fundamental changes. So the Super Dex, instead of having to right-click it wearing the suit you want to register into it, it basically goes off your player data, and it records whenever you put on a full suit of a character. It adds that to your obtained suits that you've had, and the Super Dex just allows you to view them. What this means is you could wear a suit at any time and then go to your Super Dex, and it's gonna already know you've put that suit on and you've obtained it, so it'll let you unlock it in the Super Dex. This also means you do not have to when you lose your Super Dex, you do not have to get a new Super Dex and re-enter all your suits. It'll automatically know you've already obtained it on the world, so it's a per world basis, and it'll just auto unlock them. As you can see, when I click here, I've opened all 4 suits. I've put all 4 suits on before this video started, so that's why they're all unlocked here. And they may be like, whoa, the mapping looks way different. Basically, it's more of an automated system now. Each character has a Super Dex entry ID, and that'll determine where, in respect to all the other characters, where they fit in the character map. And once this character map gets filled up, a new page will be generated, and so more characters will fit on there. But if I open Batman, for example, you can see he's entry number 2, meaning he is the second character to be entered into the Super Dex. First is Superman, and Superman's not currently in the alpha version I'm using right now, but when Superman does get added, basically Superman will go here and everything will get pushed down. And then when Wonder Woman's added, she'll go behind Batman and before Flash, and everything gets pushed down, and so it's more of an automated system. I don't have to screw with placing things. It's just fully automated now, so it makes it really easy to add in the entries into the Super Decks. Now, some other changes to the Super Decks in terms of graphical design is, as you can see, it now has the entry number, but also there's a rotation bar here, so you can rotate around and see what the suit looks like. Batman's a hard example because it's black on black, but like Flash is a little bit easier to see. You can see what the character looks like, so it's a lot easier than having it follow where your cursor is. Just works a lot better this way. So that's basically the Super Decks in a nutshell. I'm going to put this back, and we're going to now go over to how to obtain suits. Now, there are still crafting. There's still a suit assembly unit, but it's not a crafting grid anymore. Because a problem I was running into was I was adding in these characters, and it was hard to make it so a character had an appropriate crafting recipe with looking like the character but having appropriate materials, because some characters were easier to get than others and they were better characters just because the materials that were used to make them so it looked like the character when you were in the crafting grid were easier to get than the other characters. So now we have a system where you do get materials, but there's no recipes per se. So here's the list of characters I have in right now. So let's click on Batman. So Batman, it's black iron ingots, 27, high tech 4. And what these little slots mean is if you click this is what it takes to make Batman's head. This is what it takes to make his chest plate, leggings, and boots. And it works like this for all characters. And like, for instance, let's just, for the sake of, let's grab some black iron ingots and some high-tech electronics. So if I go in here and I grab in some black iron ingots, and let's grab in some high-tech electronics, okay? So now what'll happen is, as you can see, bam, Batman's mask is now able to be craftable, and it stopped being red, and it turned, and it told you how many were. So if I take this away and I put it in my inventory, as you can see, it tells you how many you have in your inventory up to the max that it needs. And then bam, it's 27. That's all I needed, and that'll allow me to make the mask. What this also does is, say you had the materials required for the mask and the boots. So let me grab some black iron blocks. Let's see here. You don't have to select which specifically. Oh, let me grab that. You don't have to select which specifically you're trying to craft, because as you can see, I'm under the helmet, but I can also craft the boots, so it pops up on this menu here. So I can just grab it. It takes my materials, grab it, and it takes my materials. And I still have enough remaining materials to make another of each. So like if I take another one, now I can't anymore because I used up all the black iron ingots that were sufficient enough to make the mask. But that's basically how you go and make each of the characters now. It's a lot easier for me to add in characters that are fully playable and obtainable on survival now, because it's basically the same kind of materials, except instead of having to put it in a crafting grid, you just click the character, click the slot, and it'll tell you what you need. And once you have it in your inventory, it outputs the suit. So it's just a lot faster, and it's more balanced, because this way I can make sure characters that are all tier 5s are more difficult to get than characters that are tier 4s, 3s, 2s, and etc. like that. So now another thing I want to quickly go over, let me exit out of here, and let me go into here. Let me grab the default Batman suit. Just so you know, just a little fun tip, all the Batman models have been updated. So as you can see, Batman actually has a fully logo in this one. But one thing is, now all characters, due to the high amount of requests I was getting from you guys, I've now added in a better cape animation. So it's not a boarded brick, but now it kind of, it kind of has a little bit of curvature to it when you run and stuff like that. So it's not doesn't look like a board hanging out from your back anymore. So that's something a lot of you have been requesting. Now, each character has 5 suit abilities, 1 equip ability, 1 utility ability, and 1 special ability. So let me, for example, I don't need this anymore. I was just showing the cape and the new Batman logo for that. But all the new Batman models, if I'm going to do a review on Batman, you'll see all the models and stuff like that in the next video. But, for instance, if I go to Batman, every key for every character is now being used. There will not be any character that only has 3 abilities. Every key that is in the Legends mod will have a corresponding ability for that character. So they all have a suit ability 1 through 5, an equip, a utility, and a special. And as you can see for Batman, the 1 through 5, the suit abilities are pretty much the same. You have the equip ability, and utility ability and a special ability. As you can see, it's the utility belt for the equip ability. Detective mode, yes, there is detective mode in this. Give this video a thumbs up if you want to see detective mode, because I will be going over Batman if this gets enough support, and I will show you guys all the cool new stuff with this character. And Bat Swarm is his special ability. Now, special abilities, these are all things that were supposed to be in a 5.0 alpha, but I didn't finish it. So there was no special abilities in the alpha, but since the 6.0 full release is complete, all the characters have all their abilities. Now, special abilities are the most OP abilities for this specific character, which is in turn why they have such a high timer on them. But they are the OP finishing moves and stuff like that. Like, for instance, Batman is his Bat Swarm attack, which spawns in a whole bunch. It's really cool. I can't wait to show you guys. But there is that in terms of formatting for all the characters. So just wanted to mention that as well. Another thing that is a fundamental change, which is why we named it 6.0, is you can get abilities without wearing the suits. This has been something a lot of people have wanted for a long time, and I'm finally getting to it, and it's probably one of the main causes, that and the new rendering system, that I have to go back and kind of re-import things. Because one, there's a new rendering system, and the mod is going to now be compatible with many other mods now. It's not going to be breaking. You can play this mod. It's just going to be more mod pack friendly. So I had to redo the entire rendering system in order to make that work. But it's also improved some of the animations, which you'll see when we go over some of the individual characters. Now, another fundamental difference was the fact that you don't need a suit for a lot of powers. I'm still working out the kinks on how this specifically works. I've got an idea, but right now, just for the sake of demonstration, I have a command I can put in. So I can some powers give, and let's give myself the Speed Force. Let's give myself Speed Force 3. Now, as you can see, I got some buffs, and I now have the Speed Force. So if I use the same controls as the Flash, as you can see, I'm now running around as a speedster, and let me see if I can get to a more open area. I'm running around as a speedster. There's my little arms going, without the suit. Now, the suits are better. They give you better defense, and they give you, like, for instance, Flash is faster than Speed Force 3, like just getting it without the suit. So characters always have an advantage, so it still encourages you to make the suits, but if you so want to have the powers without the suit, it is now 100% possible. Now, it does not mean you can get every power. I'm thinking of making it more of a class system where you can choose to be either a speedster, a Kryptonian, and stuff, a mutant, stuff like that. And that will allow you to unlock the respective powers, because there will be an unlocking process. I'm still working it out. It's not anything finalized yet, so I don't want to show it just yet because, you know, it's subject to change. But there will be an unlocking system per the class that you choose. And you can't get away with now running around with the Speed Force as Batman. Don't think that'll work because the powers of the suit will override any powers that you're wearing that you have without, you know, that you have normally. And then when you take the suit off, your regular powers will come back. So that way you can't try to mix and mash and have a Superman Speedster OP thing there. It's balanced in that regard. Just, you know. But one thing I do want to show just with this real quick, because I know General Geigen loves this, is really cool, is just when you vibrate without the suit and like just seeing your skin vibrate. I don't know, it's just really cool. That was kind of a digression, but something I just really wanted to show because it's really cool looking. But for more Speedster stuff, I hope to do a video on some of them. But again, just matters how much you guys support this video will determine if we get other ones. Another thing to note is there are no more potion effects. The powers don't work like that anymore. As you can see, I have the health boost. I do have the added strength if I get here. See, I have strength 10. If I get faster, my strength's going up. That's because I'm increasing my speed. That's just for speedsters, if you didn't know. But I do have the abilities that are granted to me, and there are no potion icons anymore because a lot of people, for some reason, were annoyed by the fact that the little thing came up on the side. So we don't use potions anymore to give you any of the abilities. Now you actually have them. You actually have the abilities. Now, one thing you all are probably really asking for is, Tihyo, this is looking kind of cool. When can we expect a release? Now, a lot of you are not going to like what I'm about to say, but it does take time to do what I'm doing, and I'm spending a lot more time and paying a lot more attention to detail on things. So the estimate, I can't even give you a solid date yet, for the first pack to be released, Superheroes Unlimited version 6.0, will be the first quarter of 2018. So it's a few months away, and it will be the first quarter, so anywhere is March or below in 2018, there should be the first pack released. After that, Star Wars will be coming shortly after that, maybe a few months afterwards, because I'm working on both. What's nice about me doing all the mods in one is I can work on all of them at one time and then just export the packs separately and release them and stuff like that. So I'm working on superheroes and Star Wars packs right now, and they should come within a couple months difference of each other. So you will be getting a lot of bang coming up in 2018. So just please bear with me and be patient. I will try to be doing these update videos more frequently now that I kind of have the fundamental systems. It's kind of taken a while to get these systems operating. Now it's just a matter of adding in characters, adding in abilities, adding in stuff, and then with Star Wars, all the stuff that's going. So I should have update videos on the Star Wars pack coming soon as well. It's almost gotten to that level where I'm able to show things, but just want to get a few more things done in that to do it. Now, there are ways that you can get betas of the packs before their release. And this does not just apply to 6.0 and the new Star Wars. This applies from here on out. I have opened up a Patreon page, mainly because I'm now in college. Things are starting to cause, like, you know, being a little more expensive in real life and stuff like that. With how crappily we're compensated for the work we do in Minecraft as of now, in order to continue making these mods and stuff, I'm going to need some extra support. And that's why I've decided to open up this Patreon page. And basically, it's not a monthly Patreon page. It is per beta release. So if you subscribe to my Patreon page, which link will be down in the description down below, every time a beta release comes, you will have access to it as long as you give me your username and stuff like that. It says that on the Patreon because I kind of need your usernames to add you to the Patreon list for the packs and the Legends mod. And your support or your donation will only be applied whenever I release something. So because I've seen a lot of people for mods make Patreons and they do it per monthly, but then it's like, what if you don't come out with an update in that month? Like, people just paid for nothing. So I'm doing it per release basis, and I think it's like $5. So it's not that much at all. So I really encourage you all to support me on there if you would like to continue seeing this stuff happen, because I have some big ideas, some new mods planned out that I will be revealing soon, mod packs that will come to the Legends mod, of course. So please support me on there. I would really appreciate, you know, that it would help me continue what I'm doing. And yeah, it's pretty much all I'm going to say for this update video. I'm not going to get into the specifics of any characters. That'll be for another video. So thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to like and comment on this video. If you have any suggestions, make sure you leave it down in the comment section down below. Remember to go check out my new Patreon page, and I'd really appreciate your support. It would help me continue doing what I like doing here, and would allow you guys to be able to play these things before releases. And you also get extra perks, like you'll be added to a special Discord that, ooh, thunder, ooh. You'll be added to a special Discord for Patreons only, that you guys can participate in voting for, you know, what character should be added, you know, just certain new aspects to the packs, you know, feature, implementation, stuff like that. You'll have a louder voice amongst the crowd, because there are a lot of you, so I encourage you all to do that. Now remember, fellow crime fighters, tie your shoes!